Hello everyone and welcome to the Switch into Plan B podcast. I'm Jumbo.
And I'm Robin.
And in this one, we're going to be reviewing every driver's helmet design.
Tires are okay for Plan B.
Alright, so here we are on Tier Maker, and someone has very nicely got all 20 of the driver's helmets on Tier Maker for us, so we don't have to do anything. We will link it in the description if you want to play along with this and make your own ranking of the helmet designs, because I'm pretty sure no one will agree with us, because we're not even going to agree, because we're going to do our own tiers, aren't we?
Yes.
So we've got 5 levels. We've got the 1, which is the final choice that we would select if we had to choose a helmet design for ourselves for this year.
Yeah.
Then we've got amazing, which obviously self-explanatory, good, meh, and then needs a redesign.
Oh, I changed mine to just needs work.
Needs work. Oh, needs a redesign, needs work. Same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think like redesign, you'd strip it all up and restart. Needs work is like...
So I've been a bit more brutal there.
I think so, yeah.
So
needs work is a little bit nicer.
I'm keeping it like that.
Okay.
Let's start with the rookie Zhou Guan Yu. What do you think of his helmet design? Do you like it?
I think it's okay.
I don't feel like it's standout to me.
No. I kind of feel like it's maybe because purple's quite a dark colour. You mainly just see the white.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do get Lewis Hamilton vibes from it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because he did initially do a white version before he went black and purple.
Yeah.
And it does look a little bit like that.
And he's also got the yellow accents, which Lewis has as well. The yellow of Lewis.
The yellow is the same as that. We'll get onto that, Robin. We will get onto that. I'm going to put this in meh, because I feel like there's quite a lot going on. There's bits that I really like. On the top of his helmet, he's got Mandarin writing, which I think is quite cool, in sort of like floral pattern on purple, on the white, which I think looks quite nice.
Yeah.
But it's also quite busy. He's got black skyline silhouette, of obviously from where he's from. And I think that's a little bit too busy for me.
I kind of feel like if he changed the purple to something that's a little bit standout, it would balance the rest.
Yeah, and I do feel like colours have a big part of the branding here, because this is the one thing that they can really stamp their personality on the car. And I feel like some drivers are very good at it and some really aren't. So when I'm ranking these, that kind of comes into it. I feel like Zhou's is a bit, it could be anyone.
Yeah, I get what you mean with that.
So I'm going to leave mine in meh. Where are you putting Zhou?
I can't, at the moment I've put him in good. I'm going to go with good. I think it's okay.
You think it's okay? Maybe I'm a bit too brutal with this.
Maybe. I've got some other ones that I know that are going to go in meh. So I didn't want to put too many on that category.
Moving on to a man returning this year, Kevin Magnussen.
I don't particularly like it.
Not a fan?
No. The K is quite cool. I know that you quite like the K as well.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I really like the K. Like, it actually makes up the main design of his helmet design. It's like a K for obviously Kevin. Yeah. And I like that. But there is a lot going on.
Yeah. I think maybe strip it back a little bit.
For me, this is the colours work as well. So you've got red, black and white. And I think you've got a good core colour base there. For me, this is going in good. I think this is all right. If this was tweaked slightly, I think if it was a bit less busy and you made the K-pop even more, K-pop, I think that would do really well. I can't believe I laughed at my own little joke there as well. So I'm going to put that in good. I think it could be amazing if with a little bit of a tweaking. Where are you going to put it, Robin? I can see you're thinking about this quite hard. Because I feel like you don't want to be too harsh to the drivers.
I know, yeah.
Because
I'm going to put it in good as well.
You're going for good. See, I thought that was going to be a meh because you came out swinging.
Yeah, I don't particularly like it.
All right, let's move on to Alex Albon, another man returning. Now, for me, I actually quite like this design, but I feel like it's just weird seeing Red Bull at Williams, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
You don't like it at all?
No. I'm going to put it as needs work.
No.
Redesign. Yeah. I don't like it. There's too many things that I don't like that just go, you know what? I prefer his white one.
Yeah, there is a blue and white one. This is the all blue one
Yeah.
that he's been rocking most of the season so far.
There's just too many things that I would go, I don't like that. There's two weird A's on either side. I don't understand where they come from, why they're weird, with that weird shape.
Do you think they're supposed to be A's though? Because I didn't even think, I just thought that was part of like a circle coming up almost and then a line going through. I didn't even think that that's supposed to be an A. There is a lot of A's everywhere though.
There is a lot of
I'll
A's.
give you that.
I don't know, maybe if it's accidental, then it's also weird.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I go, I don't think that is accidental. I think that that's a designer going, oh, this is quite clever.
Yeah, but it's not.
They do need to chill out with the A's, I agree with that. But there are some touches that I really like. The Thai flag, I think, is a really nice touch everywhere.
Yeah.
And also he's done that with, he's got the Thai flag on his 23, his number as well. And I think that's quite nice. And actually, I quite like the shade of the blue. So
yeah, it's a nice colour.
I think this is good. I don't think this is meh. I think it's a little bit weird that there's Red Bull branding on it, but he is a Red Bull driver. So, you know, they do take up a lot of real estate on that helmet design, as we know.
I don't agree with that. I don't think he should be a Red Bull driver if he's driving for a different team.
Yeah, it is strange. It is really strange. And you normally see it, and you see it in lower formulas, but you don't really see it in F1. But yeah, I'm going to stick with good for Albin. I think that's a solid design.
Yeah, I put needs work.
Needs work. Moving on to Schumacher. Now, for me, this is amazing. I love the colours here. Like, you've got the yellowy green that is Mick's sort of signature colour, and then it goes into this really nice bluey green at the back, like the fade all the way through.
Yeah.
Really nice. And then you've got like black to break it up.
Yeah.
I just think it works.
I really like, I think he's the only one that has done like a gradient like that.
Throughout the whole helmet.
Yeah, and it is really good. The colours are really good. And I like that then what he does is everything else he's just contrasted with black.
Yeah, and a lot of the logos are almost white as well. So
Yeah.
everything, you could see the Haas and be like, I immediately know that's Mick because of the helmet design. And that's what I like. He's
Yeah.
got a bit of personality about him.
Oh, you're amazing.
I put it in amazing. Yeah, I said I think this is very good. So I put it amazing, everyone. My first one in amazing, Mick Schumacher.
You know, it probably would go just because of the colour fade, the gradient. I think it deserves an amazing.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that sold me is the way how it goes through the colours.
Yeah.
And then that's the main thing. And then like the black just breaks up. Yeah, as I say, I'm just repeating myself. But I think
Because that's
really
what you
nice.
want from a helmet. You kind of want it to stand out. And
Yeah.
when we talk about some of the other ones, we'll mention this. Like, you need to be able to see who it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you do. When you look at Mick's helmet, you know that that's Mick.
And he's stuck to the core design, like as in the core colours. So you always know that's going to be Mick with sort of a greeny yellow at the front or a yellow that fades into a green. You kind of know that's Mick's thing. So I like that he's kind of stuck with that and he just tweaks that slightly and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
As opposed to changing the whole helmet every year.
Yeah. Because then you're like, who is that? Yeah, I agree.
All right. So where did you put that in the end?
I went for amazing
You
as
went
well.
for amazing too. A double amazing for Mick. All
Doing
right.
well.
Nicholas Latifi. Where is he going?
So I think it's okay.
I would disagree.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny because the reason you disagree is the reason that I think it's okay. I quite like the pattern the S gives on the blue.
Right.
I do agree with you, although you haven't said it yet. Do you want to say what you think?
It's too much.
It's too much.
Too much branding. So Safina and the Safina S, which don't get me wrong, is quite nice in sort of the Roman sort of italic sort of font, but it's flipping everywhere. Like he has gone nuts with it. You can tell that he owns it or his dad owns it because it is literally everywhere.
Yeah.
There are bits that I really like of this helmet. So he's got like the Toronto skyline on the back of it in like a grey.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
That is really nice. And the maple leaf on the NL6 logo at the back, that's really nice. And the maple leaf on the top as well, that's really nice. But as a package, it's way too much.
I quite like the S on the blue because it's like a lighter colour. It almost kind of gives it you're like, what kind of pattern is that?
Yeah.
You can't really tell it's the S.
It does look a bit like a paisley pattern almost.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But yeah, that's why I quite like it. And you know, you're not ever going to like everything on the helmet.
No. I'm a bit stuck with this one because there's, as I say, there's some bits I really like, but the overall design, I it's not even the design. I actually think the shape's not too bad. It's just the S. The sticker bombing of that S kind of ruins it a bit for me. I'm going to put it in meh because I do think that needs a bit of work to get into good.
That's kind of where I'm holding it to meh. Just because I just don't feel like it stands out enough. Like, to me, that doesn't say that's Latifi. Does that make sense?
But this is the other thing the reason why I like the skyline on the back is because I kind of feel like that has Latifi's vibe from it.
But
That's
it's
the vibe
such
I
a
get from it.
tiny little detail. You don't see that.
The whole thing is so like overly branded that I'm like, I don't feel like this is enough Latifi for me to be a special helmet design that I would go, I like that. I would like to purchase a mini helmet of that or something. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So Latifi's in meh for both of us.
Exactly.
A bit of work to do, Nicholas. All right, moving on to his former teammate, Mr. George Russell. Gone for a black design this year. So he did have a red helmet. And I think, if I remember correctly, he changed it from red to black because he didn't want to look like Schumacher in the Mercedes, because actually the designs were actually fairly similar. So I can kind of understand that. But I really like black. Don't get me wrong. One of my favorite colors is black. Is it a color? It's not even a color. But I like black. But I just feel like there's not enough personality on this for me. Especially when you want to glance at it, you want to go, wow, instantly recognizable. That is so-and-so. And I just don't feel like with it black, you kind of just sort of fall by the wayside. And there's not enough boldness on the design that makes me go, that's George Russell. It's just a bit meh for me.
Yeah. I quite like the red and blue little accent, like the blue lines with the little red bits. It's really nice, actually. But it's just a shame that you have to look at it closely to see them.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's too fine a detail. You know, when you see like tattoos, you want to be able to see it far away. You want to instantly go, that's The Rock, because I can tell by his tribal tattoo.
Yeah.
And loads of people copy it. But you have a tiny little thing on your wrist that says like, hello. You have to get really close to read what it says, because from a distance, it just looks like a block.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same with Russell. There's some really nice details, but it's too small and too elegant.
Yeah.
Like, looking at that picture there, all I can see is it's black. There's some sort of logo on the side, which is his 63 GR, but then you've got a red strip around the top, and that's all I can see.
Yeah. And it's actually quite lucky that Hamilton has changed his helmet design, because I was going to say you would not be able to tell them apart otherwise if Hamilton kept his black and purple.
I think that's why Lewis has changed it.
Right.
Because surely Lewis has got to be thinking that.
Yeah. Maybe.
We'll get on to Lewis, but I wonder if that was a thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this in meh, though. I really like Russell, and I like black, but there's not enough oomph for me on this to be good at all.
Yeah. I might do the same. I'll put mine in meh. I'm a bit torn because I quite like the design, but again, it doesn't really... You have to be really close to see it, and so then it's not doing what the point of the design of a helmet is.
Yeah. Right, moving on to another one I really like. This is immediately going into amazing for me, and that is Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah. We actually agree on that one.
This design, bear in mind it's a Red Bull based one. I know it's AlphaTauri, but it's still the same principle that AlphaTauri and Red Bull, they take up a lot of the real estate on the helmet design.
They do.
But this just works. White, orange and navy blue. Oh, what a colour combo that is. And then you've got a pattern on the orange as well. So just one colour's got a pattern, because other drivers have done patterns everywhere, which we'll get onto later. And it just works.
It
the
does.
22 with a Japanese flag in it as well. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice.
Yeah, it is really good. You kind of just described the helmet. I'm not sure there's anything else for me to add there. Yeah, I really like the orange, and I like the depth of the two different oranges of the pattern.
Yeah, there's not much else to say. This is amazing.
No. Yeah.
This is going into amazing for me.
Yeah, I've done the same.
All right, so that was relatively easy. I don't even know where to start with this one. Lance Stroll.
So it's quite disappointing because I feel like he's got really good ideas, just hasn't executed it properly.
I would agree.
So there is design there, but he's chosen to have it the same color
as the whole car.
Yeah. And as
the Aston Martin like wings.
Yeah. I think of them as Thor wings.
They are a bit like Thor wings.
Because they're on the side of the head like he has with his helmet. And I just feel like it would make much more sense to have a different coloured helmet with the Thor wings standing out. If he wants them the colour of the car, that's fine, but then your helmet needs to change colour.
Yeah.
And also, for you to be able to see the driver, you also need the colour of the helmet to be distinguished from the car.
Yeah. It's actually a really nice design, and I really like the guy that's done it. I can't remember his surname, but it's Mark something, and he does a lot of design work, and he's done really well. But it almost is a bit like it's too much, similar to Latifi, right? He's gone too much down the road of this isn't that much of a Lance personality. It's more of this is I've got a helmet, just slap your brand on it, and I'll just happily rock it. I don't feel like it's enough personality of Lance. But as you say, the wings could be so good. If that was like a white or grey, maybe even a black, and you really emphasise the wings, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, really cool. And like little things like...
'Cause he's got the lime green near the wings.
For the AMR or the
If
Aston
he had
Martin,
them, if he had it going all the way around, you're really bringing that wing out.
Really accentuating that accent.
Yeah.
And also, but I just feel like with he's got the Aramco, they're green on one side and then blue on the other side. I thought he might do that with the accents of the wings because it's green on one side and then you could do blue on the other side. And I just think little things like that just make it much better. But for me, I'm really disappointed to put this in Met because I actually like the design, but it just doesn't stand out. Looking at that picture there, it's quite small. I mean, know it's Stroll.
It feels like it's just a block colour, doesn't it?
It is. It doesn't even look like there's a design on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite disappointing. I'm going to put that in Meh because I think if that had, for me, if that actually had some work done to it, that could be amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll put it in Meh too.
Do you know, I'm surprised that we've agreed so much so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to, again, for me, this is quite iconic, and this is Sebastian Vettel's helmet design. I think this is class. Like, even before he's done this Peace Ukraine design on it, and he just had the German flag going through the middle, this was cool. Like, this is iconic because you look at it and you go, that's immediately Sebastian Vettel. A simple design, but he's absolutely smashed it. It's a white helmet with a flag on it, but immediately you know what it is. It says a lot about his personality as well, because, you know, he cares about a lot of things in the world and he's using his platform and his helmet design to express that as well. And I just love that.
Yeah.
It says Sebastian Vettel, and that's what I love about it. So for me, I think this is amazing.
Yeah, same.
I genuinely think it is because it just does everything you need a helmet design to do. It stands out and it expresses their personality.
Yeah, and it's simple. I think that's why it works. It's simple enough that you can change, as you said, he changed the flag for this season and you still know that it's his helmet. And if he changed it to two other colours that weren't exactly a flag, but just a strip of a colour, you'd still know that it's... Yeah. And I think that's the point.
And you could even make it a bit more complicated and do like a German flag fading into the Ukrainian flag or fading into the LGBTQ plus flag or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'd still know, and it's still a simple design, that it still works because it's so simple that that's the main thing. And I just think, he's nailed that. He really has nailed that. So a double amazing for Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
No surprise there. Oh, and then going from amazing to this is my first needs a redesign.
All right.
And this is Esteban Ocon's helmet design. Do you know what? Before we even get into the helmet design, I think Esteban Ocon just in general needs a bit of a stylist or someone just to come in, because I feel like he could do something much better with his hair, because I think he's got good hair that he can actually do something with, and just his dress sense. Like, he's quite a slim figure. Yeah. But he could actually rock some cool clothing because he's quite tall. And we watched one of these videos. I think, was it, I can't remember what it was.
I want to say it was GQ.
It was either GQ or...
It was some sort of magazine, wasn't it?
Bazaar or, I don't know, Vogue. I don't think it was Vogue.
It wasn't Vogue.
Vanity Fair, I think it might have been, actually.
Could have been, yeah.
But anyway, they had all these drivers dressed up. I'd go and watch it because it is hilarious. Because Russell Ricardo and even Lando and Gasly, they all look hilarious. But actually, Ocon looks like quite a cooled out, sort of chilled hippie dude. Yeah. With glasses, and they look like linen pajamas clothing, almost. But he looked really cool there.
He was thinking, cool, yeah.
Well, someone just needs to style him a little bit. And he like transforms him totally.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to his helmet design, I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't, nothing works for me. I feel like the weird sort of design on the side is a bit like, Nelson Piquet's design, I think, was a bit like that, where it almost had a teardrop, but it doesn't quite do that. I think it's almost trying to be an E for Esteban. I don't know. But then also you've got this really big French flag coming through the middle. And I feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't work. I much preferred the little Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower was good. Because also you could see the Eiffel Tower when it was like the cam.
On the helmet, on the T-cam.
Yeah. Which was quite nice. I used to always like seeing, there's Eiffel Tower. Because it used to be like sparkly as well.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind the flag because one of the images that we saw is matte and then makes it kind of stand out with the stuff that's underneath. It kind of gives it depth, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's way too much going on.
But even on the French flag, you've got Alpine in it as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not even just the block French flag colours. It's Alpine in it, and then you've got metallic flake, actually red helmet, and then you've got a white design on it going through the side. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And it's like, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say Ocon. It just says he's French, if that makes sense, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that because, Vettel says that he's German, but I just feel like there's a lot. It's almost like how to do it and then how not to do it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, just in general, I feel like I'm being really mean to Ocon, but I feel like he has potential to be really good in terms of like everything. Like he's shown that he's a good driver. I think if he gets a good helmet design and a bit of personality on there and stuff like that, I think it could be cool. He could be a really cool guy in the paddock.
Yeah. And it would help, like all those things help with branding.
Yeah.
Which kind of nowadays everyone has their own personal brand that they're trying to sell, isn't it? So if you can nail that.
Well, there's another driver that we'll come on to later that absolutely nails it for me. And they're sort of similar ages.
Are they? Okay.
No, I think he might be quite a bit younger actually. But
so Ocon goes to need work.
Yeah,
and I think
mine needs redesign, yeah.
Yeah. Who's next?
The next one is his teammate, Fernando Alonso, who is the first of the two drivers, well, three drivers if you include Vettel, that had a redesign after they were announced. The helmets were announced. So this is the blue, pink and white helmet design, not his normal blue, red and yellow helmet design.
Yeah.
Because this is actually what he's rocking for the whole season apparently now. I thought it was just at the beginning. And we may see that more traditional Alonso helmet come in, but this is officially what he's rocking.
I preferred the other one that he presented as what was supposed to be his helmet design.
I agree, because that's an Alonso helmet design.
Yeah.
Like I said, or as we've been saying, you look at it and go, that's Alonso. I know who that is straight away.
Yeah.
This
is that water company.
The BWT, yeah.
And what annoys me is that BWT doesn't seem to care about design. They just seem to care about making everything pink.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but if you add a bit of design, it looks better.
I agree. This is a very, do you know what? I kind of feel like that he spent a lot of time designing his current, or the one that he was going to use, and I think he used for testing. This one kind of feels like, we need to do something. And then they've just gone for like a basic design, like an old school, quite basic design, just stripes.
Yeah.
And it works, but there's no personality in it for me.
No, it's not Alonso. You could put this on anyone and you'd be like, oh, that's a BWT sponsored driver.
For me, I'm putting this in meh, because if he had his design that he came out the season with and changed the colours, I think this actually goes quite good. Yeah. But yeah, for me, this is just a bit... It doesn't say Alonso enough to me, and I think that's the problem I have with it, because he's actually not too bad. You mentioned earlier when we were talking about this, the pink is... One of the pinks is very pink as well.
Yeah, the brighter neon one, there's two different pinks. I don't feel like they go next to each other. It doesn't feel like it was thought through. It does feel like it was a last minute thing that let's just slap on some pink on this helmet and get over it.
There is one detail, sorry to go up, that I just remember that I really like.
Okay.
And the 14, his number on the back of the helmet he's got.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's embossed.
Yeah.
And that is well cool. I really like that touch. But again, you're probably not going to see it that much.
No.
So it's quite a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm putting this in meh.
Yeah, I'm putting it in meh too.
All right. Pierre Gasly, as Daniel Ricciardo says, is next.
I want to say he had a better design last year.
In terms of what? Because I feel like he's had this design for a while.
Okay. Maybe not then.
And the problem I have with this, I think this is where you're going as well. super busy. Like
Yeah.
unbelievably busy because there's so many patterns and logos going absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like, do you know what? I was going to put this in Meb. I think this needs a redesign.
I'm gonna put it in redesign. It's just also, and not to go too much into, but his branding. What's his logo? Don't like it.
The PG.
Yeah, don't like it. And that's slapped on everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere.
And then there's 10s everywhere as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much for me.
It's almost like,
I don't mind sticker bombing if it's done in quite a tasteful way.
yeah.
And it's just one section or
But you don't
one
need
colour.
to. That's what is a bit frustrating. Like you've got Sonoda, who's obviously the same template and has done something much better with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, we both put that in amazing. So
Yeah.
there
Sorry,
are
Gaz.
touches that I quite like. The little French pinstripe going through it,
Yeah.
I like. I think if Ocon did something like that, that would look a lot better, a bit more subtle.
Mm.
And there you have Jules Bianchi and Antoine Hubert's logo in there as well, which I think is a nice touch. Obviously, they mean a lot to him. So in terms of personality, there is some stuff there.
Yeah.
But I do think that it does
But
need a redesign with it.
If he kept just the red bits with all those logos and things in there, that I think that would have been fine. But it's the white bit also has lots of stuff stuck on it. And I think that's what is a bit too much.
Moving on to a man that loves to change his helmet designs, and they're very, very, very out there, is Daniel Ricciardo. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
So there's a couple of things.
Just a couple.
Like Stroll, he's gone with the same colours as his car.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Although the top is green, so when you see it on the cam,
Yeah.
you see the green, you understand who you're watching.
But it's not always that view. So if they're coming down the straight, you're going to see a lot of orange.
Yeah. And then, but the only reason we can then differentiate, Lando's helmet. So it's not Lando.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is not what you want. You want people to go, that's Ricardo.
That's not
Lando.
That's not Lando, yeah.
Yeah.
He would be kicking himself. Everyone goes, oh, you're not Lando, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the other one.
I quite like the colours, as in the blue and the green have like a little texture in them. And it's kind of like, I'm not sure what it is, but it kind of looks like rips in the helmet.
Yeah.
Like a honey badger would make or something.
It's definitely layered. The thing is that makes me laugh is that you say you like the colours, but we both disagreed that those black blue, which is the same blue they're using on the car, and the orange don't go. But the reason why you said you think it does go on the helmet is because of the drop shadows.
Yeah.
There's something between it. That you also did mention that on when we did deliveries. But for me, I'm not.
It's almost like Ricardo fixed what McLaren should have done in his helmet. I do think he should have probably made the green the main colour. I would have liked to seen that. I don't know why.
Just go full avocado, I think.
Yeah. I also preferred his last year's helmet.
I agree with that. The pastel colours and that were nice. Like there was quite a lot going on, but because they were pastel colours, it also stood out as well. So I just think last year's was miles better. And even like the previous 2 years, so he had one at Renault where it's sort of like a grey leopard print, which I thought was quite cool. And then the one before that was sort of black with like 3 almost different designs into one, which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah.
This one, I don't like this.
No.
I don't. Not so much that I think it. Yeah. I'm going to put it. It needs a redesign, I think.
Okay.
I'm being
meh.
quite harsh.
The main criticism I have of it is that you have to get used to every year which design is Ricardo's design, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other drivers just keep them the same. I prefer that because I then know exactly who that is.
In terms of like branding, you don't want to be changing your logo or your company every single year. You kind of want to keep some consistency there.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion and the same as yours there. But I just think it's just a bit too much.
Yeah. And I know like it's probably his one chance to do something crazy and he likes that sort of stuff. But I do feel... I don't know. I do feel like it would be nice to have more of a consistency so that we definitely know that that's Ricardo.
Yeah. I am thinking about moving it to Med because the more I think about it, that is a very Ricardo thing to do, like proper out there, because he's like the world's biggest extrovert, and that is, you have to be an extrovert to wear that. But then the other side of me is going, but the previous other 3 seasons that he hasn't been at Red Bull, his helmet designs have been pretty cool, and I think this is by far and away the worst one he's had.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it in there if it needs a redesign, because I'm pretty sure he could come up with something much better than that.
Yeah.
All right, on to our championship leader at this current point in time. Depends on when you're listening to this. If you're listening to this in 20 years' time, Charles Leclerc was leading the championship at this point, and that is the helmet that we're looking at. I actually quite like this. It's simple enough for me that it works, because it's red and then slightly into a slightly darker red, almost black fade at the bottom. You then got the Monegasque flag around the bottom of the helmet, which I like. You do have it along the top as well, which I think sometimes it's a little bit too much, but at least it's recognisable on board.
Yeah.
And he's kind of had that in all his helmets on F1, so it kind of means that, you know, as we said before, you're keeping certain things the same so everyone knows it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like this, and a Ferrari badge on the top against the red is cool. It just looks like a Ferrari car. I like this. This is going in good for me.
Yeah, it's going in good as well, because I was going to say I like it, but it's not enough for me to say it's amazing. I do still feel like it's a little bit too much going on.
I don't know what he could do to make it amazing though.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it's red. I don't know. Because it doesn't stand out that much against the car because it is a red car and it's a red helmet maybe.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Although I think they are slightly different reds, because that Ferrari is quite a dark red this year and that looks quite a sort of matte, lighter red. But normally Ferrari's red, the helmet's red. I just feel like it's a little bit, you know, as we've been critical of other drivers matching the sort of car and helmet colour.
Yeah.
I don't think it can go any higher than good for me. Are you keeping it in good?
I'm keeping it in good.
Good. All right. This is class. This is so good. Lando Norris. He absolutely smashes absolutely everything I want in a helmet design.
Yeah.
It's iconic already, and he's only been in here for, what is this, his 4th season now?
Yeah.
You see the yellowy, green, Volt colour, whatever you want to call it.
You go Lando.
And you go Lando, yeah. And that's exactly what you want. And he kind of has nicked the colour from Valentino Rossi, but I don't care because he's making it his own. The helmet design is well good as well.
Yeah.
As in, it doesn't change too much. And he uses this template for nearly every design he does.
Yeah.
So you every time you see that
even when
design,
it is a special design, special livery, whatever,
it's exactly the same.
It's the same template. It's just changed. And I think that's kind of what you want in a driver's helmet, is that you want your design set so that people know that it's you.
Yeah. And I remember Martin Brundle saying this, when Senna used to come round and was coming to lap you or overtake you, you knew it was Senna because in the rear view mirrors or in the side mirrors, you would see a white and red Marlboro McLaren and a yellow helmet, and you went, oh crap, that's Senna coming. And you just knew that he was going to fly past you. And I feel like Lando's got pace. It's not quite Senna's pace yet, but you know it's Lando straight away. If you looked in the mirror and you saw that helmet and you saw that orange McLaren coming, you know it's Lando.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I think to achieve that at such a young age, because he is quite young, what is he, 22? Like, he's doing stuff that, like, some of the drivers just, I don't even know if they're ever going to get there. And he's so young. Like, you look at Ocon, he doesn't have a brand. Lando has a brand.
Yeah.
And he even uses the same colour for quadrant and stuff like that. And it's just like, he does so well with this. And you can tell he loves it because it's a half simple design. It's a little bit complicated on the side, but you know it's Lando. Like, everything just works.
It's well designed, I think. I also like that it looks like a flower around on the side.
Yeah. It's just got personality.
Yeah.
It ticks
it's nice.
every single box for me.
Yeah.
So it's amazing for the time being.
Yeah.
For Lando.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be up there or challenging for the one at the end. All right, on to the other half of the bromance, Mr. Carlos Sainz. Now, for me, this isn't a bad helmet design. It's very busy, but I feel like he's had better ones, if that makes sense. I like the black because it makes the red and the yellow from the Spanish flag design come out. And he's got like different sort of drop shadows and stuff. So it's layered nicely and you've got the Ferrari logo that stands out. Overall, I think a very, very nice design.
Mm-hmm. And I think the difference between his and Leclerc's is that he's got the black. So you can differentiate it a bit more from the car. There's a lot of black and yellow.
Yeah.
So it does, the red is there. And I think it might be that you have to have the red if you're a Ferrari driver.
Seb didn't.
Okay.
Oh, he did technically. The German flag has red in it. Kimi had red when he was there. Fernando had a bit of red. Schumacher had red. Barrichello had red. Massa didn't have red. I don't think you have to have red. I think they just like red.
They just like red. They just want to show that we drive for Ferrari. Then I don't understand why you would put red on the helmet, because
he's Spanish though. It's the Spanish flag.
No.
It is the Spanish flag.
I know it
though.
is, but it doesn't explain it, is what I mean.
Okay. Where are you putting that?
I've put signs in good because I want it to be amazing, but it's not amazing.
I've gone with good as well because it's definitely not meh.
No, it's better than that. It's not quite amazing. That's a shame.
I do feel like, though, that he's definitely had better ones. When he was at McLaren, I think he had a grey one that was really nice because it was a much more simpler design than that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll leave it in good for the time being, I think. All right, 4 left. The top 4 from last year, if you haven't worked out, is going in championship order from last year. So.
Oh, right. Okay. I was wondering why it's such a weird order.
Yeah, I put them in this order because I thought it makes more sense. Number 4, Checo Perez.
Needs work.
You're putting it needs a redesign.
Yeah. I know that it's probably very difficult having to follow the Red Bull template.
Yeah.
I think we should do a petition to stop the Red Bull template.
You say that. I think Yuki's done really well with it.
I know he has. And sometimes constraints make the design better, but it's just a bit all over the place, this one. Perez's one is not good. I don't know how to say anything other than I like the pattern.
I agree that the pattern is cool, but it's everywhere again.
It's everywhere.
It's like done a Gasly and put it everywhere. The other thing I will say, it's got a lot of personality in it, which I like. And I feel a bit bad for saying this because it kind of contradicts what I was saying, but it's almost a bit too much personality and a bit too much going on. Like we've got white, blue, red, green, yellow. You know, you're like, whoa, that's
not
a
necessarily
lot.
personality. That's just...
No, but the patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, he's got the Mexican flag and he's got that kind of stuff. And you're thinking, oh yeah, this is Checo. Checo stamped his authority on this helmet design with that stuff. But I just don't think it all goes.
No.
There's way too much yellow for me.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like I just don't know where you'd start. You just scrap it and start again. So that's why I'm going to put needs work. There's just so much. You kind of need to go tally everything that you've got in there and go, you can keep 3 things.
Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. Because I feel like you're right. The pattern in it is actually really nice. And the way it fades, especially in the white, the way it fades up is really nicely done.
But he either has it in the white or in the yellow.
Yeah,
not
and I
both.
feel like that's the problem with Gasly. So the more, you're kind of convinced me that this is going to need a redesign, I think. Because it's the same as Ricardo. It's got enough personality in it. But I just feel like you could do better. And I think that's what that category is. You could do better, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll put that in needs a redesign. Apologies to Checo fans. Nothing about these drivers. It's just their helmet designs. They could do better than that.
Yeah. They're earning enough money to hire someone to do a really good job if they need it.
But I reckon you're right, though. I reckon it is a lot of the sponsors or, they're contractually obliged, if I could say it properly, to do certain things. I feel like that does restrict them a little bit.
Yeah. Because at the moment, the top ones that are amazing, they're all very simple things. So Mick, that colour, he can have whatever patterns, whatever sponsors on there. As long as he's got that colour, it's Mick.
Yeah.
So now, again, with the orange, just wherever I guess he has allowed orange, he's put orange.
Yeah.
And that's all he has, really. And then Vettel's very, very simple. And again, Lando is just a whole yellow with some blue lines. So I think you can have constraints and still make it look good.
Yeah.
And in some ways, having constraints makes it look better because I know I'm contradicting get rid of the Red Bull thing, but with Perez, it's almost like he's got the Red Bull template, but then everywhere else he's just gone, let's just put everything that I can in here.
Not being funny, that's the one out of the Red Bull designs that I actually really struggle to see that's a Red Bull design on the side because there is so much going on.
Yeah.
I can't even see that it's Red Bull.
Yeah. Maybe that was the aim.
Maybe let's just confuse people. That
rebel
they don't
the
know.
pattern.
Yeah. Having said that, though, you will be able to tell it's Checo because there's so much going on. So I do give him credit for that, but I think it's similar to Ricardo. I just think it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
On to
Bottas. He sometimes has really good helmets. Like, I quite liked his Australia one.
The last Grand Prix.
Last race.
Yeah. But I think that was his girlfriend Tiffany designed that.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But I thought she designed all of them.
I don't know, but I'm not feeling this one.
No, I'm not feeling this one.
So this is his blue with red stripes down the side almost. I think the problem for me is that you've got this bottom stripe that goes around the back, which I don't think is normally that big a problem. But then where you've got these other red stripes that almost curve and they sort of taper away, and it looks like it makes the helmet super round. Like it makes his head look like a pea.
Yeah.
And I think it just looks weird. Like it just, I don't know. The colour palette I don't think is bad.
Or a cherry tomato.
Or a cherry tomato, but it's a lot more blue. I guess peas aren't blue.
No.
It's blue and circular.
Blueberry.
Smarty, a blueberry, yeah. When I went down the sweet route.
I just thought a pea is a little bit like telling someone they've got a small head. So I thought, let's think of something round that's a bit bigger. Cherry tomato.
A cherry tomato. Blueberry's a bit too small as well. Yeah, you can get some massive blueberries.
Yeah, sometimes.
You can get
in
huge
the frozen
ones.
Blueberries, they're massive.
Anyway, going back to Bottas's helmet. I'm not feeling this. I don't think it needs a redesign. It's solidly in the meh category for me.
Yeah, I agree. There's enough like it doesn't hurt my eyes, but it just doesn't say much.
No, it doesn't say much, but you can tell it's Bottas. I don't think Bottas, not being funny, but I
He's
think
a
Bottas
cucumber.
he doesn't have that much personality is what I assume you mean by that comment. He's not actually green. He's not Larry the Cucumber from, what was it called? I've forgotten it now. VeggieTales. When you said Bottas is a cucumber, I immediately went, VeggieTales. Larry the Cucumber.
Okay.
I love that show. That was hilarious. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, Bottas is in meh. He's in meh for you?
Meh.
Meh. Okay. Come on, Valtteri. You can do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Then on to his former teammate, Lewis Hamilton.
So Lewis has quite a good helmet design in general, if you look at it in black and white. Mm-hmm. But then when you turn on the colour, you go, oh, are you trying to be Lando?
Yeah, that was my initial thought with this. He says he brought back yellow because he had it in his earlier career and all of that.
But that's not that yellow.
It's not that yellow. It was more of the centre orangey yellow.
Like a mustardy.
Yeah, and I think that would work much better. And a lot of people wouldn't go, is that Lando? Just a weird version of Lando?
Yeah. And I also don't feel like that yellow goes with the purple.
No.
Because the purple's so dark.
But if he did go his normal yellow, as I would say, his original F1 yellow when he came into F1, it would look cool because it would be a bit like the LA Lakers. Now, I'm not a Lakers fan, but their colours work. The yellow and purple, or the gold and purple as they call it.
But it's a brighter purple than he's got on his
That
helmet.
is true. But even so, it would still be a contrast enough that it works.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know if he's done this, as we mentioned earlier, because Russell has got a really dark helmet this year. And I was going to say Lando. The new Lando, Lewis.
Yeah.
His helmet, he's gone the total opposite way. That he would look really similar because they both had really dark helmets. I think he's gone the total other way.
Yeah.
And everything he can get now to stand out, he's gone for that lime green or whatever we want to call it.
I know, but I feel like a normal yellow, not a neon yellow, would look better.
Yeah.
Other than that, the template of his helmet I quite like. I quite like the stars on the side. They kind of make you feel like it is going fast, you know. To me that says Hamilton. It's just not keen on the yellow, so I'm going to put it on good. And I think that's me being quite...
That is you being very generous.
Generous, yeah.
If that was his normal yellow, I don't know if it would be amazing, but it would be definitely solidly in the good. But for me, I just don't... I think that yellow, and it's almost... If he had done this before Lando was in the sport, that yellowy green or whatever, I think it's fine. But because he is obviously a Lando fan, he's said multiple times he thinks he's a really good driver, then to all of a sudden take Lando's colour is a bit weird. You know when you got like...
when you're fanboying someone else.
You know when you like... you look up to someone and you like want to be them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hang on a second, Lewis. You are a 7-time world champion, statistically the greatest ever. You don't need to fanboy Lando.
No.
Like he's already got enough fanboys and fangirls out there. Like we don't need
any more.
So for that reason, and just because I feel like Lewis is kind of copying a little bit, and I'm sure Lewis, like the fans are going to be hating me here for saying this, but I just feel like it's not Lewis enough for me.
Yeah.
It loses his personality because it's the same colour as Lando's. I think that's a disappointing factor there.
It is, yeah. But I kind of feel like it's a bit harsh to just judge it because of the yellow. So I'm keeping mine in good.
Okay. Maybe I'm a bit more brutal with this. I've got a lot in the meh. All right. On to the final one. Max Verstappen. Another Red Bull design.
So I like...
I'm wondering what you're going to say now.
Why?
Because I'm not sure if we're going to agree on this or not.
No, we're not going to agree on this one, I don't think. But I was going to say, I like the tiger.
He's going to be fuming that you said it. It's a lion.
Lion.
It's a lion, yeah.
On the top.
Yeah. I agree. Personality-wise, points for that. Good.
Yeah. I liked it when it was orange.
I agree with that. I think it's better as an orange design.
The gold is nice.
Agreed.
And it's more what I would say classy.
Premium, yeah. I would
Premium.
agree with that. Especially on the white. So white and gold
It looks
really
good.
works for me.
But then you're working with the Red Bull template, and Red Bull is not classy luxury brand.
No.
It's sporty racy brand.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It does the branding phenomenally well. Like, you know what Red Bull is, and it's extreme sports. But you're right, it doesn't do premium.
No, and that's not the point of it. That's not, you don't go, I would like to go to Red Bull because they are luxury. No, they're not luxury.
No.
They're going to be crazy, pushing the limit sports.
Yeah, juiced up on caffeine and Red Bull. Like,
Exactly.
going crazy, yeah.
But that's what branding is. You have different types of, and it's almost like he's tried to bring two together, classy, luxury with sport, extreme sport brand. It doesn't go.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, surprisingly. He's obviously got the gold because he won last year, which I don't mind. Slightly arrogant, maybe.
No, I wouldn't say arrogant. I
think it's nice.
I
agree with the Red Bull. And when we mentioned this earlier, you did say that if that was Aston Martin's wings or something, or an Aston Martin brand, because they're a luxury brand, that really works with the white and gold, and that would look well good.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I agree with that. I just feel like luxury is not Red Bull. And I understand he's
Or
put the
even
gold
Alfa
not for
Romeo
luxury.
would work.
Alpha Tauri, that's what I was going to say. Alpha Tauri is a more premium brand than Red Bull is.
Yeah, it could do. And also because their branding is the dark navy
Yeah,
colour.
I think that would work a lot better.
That would work. I think because Red Bull was the yellow and the red.
If, let's say, he kept the gold and he went orange instead of white, no, it doesn't work in my head.
No.
For me, you'd have to go like chrome or silver, like he has done before, and that would work. And I also feel like the orange is more Max Verstappen than a white helmet. I know he had this for the past couple of years. He's had that white helmet design, which I actually think is quite nice, with the little bits that come up towards the visor. I quite like that. It's quite iconic for Max. Everyone looks at it and goes, that's a Max Verstappen sort of flick up towards the visor. Yeah,
it's just, again, he's got the colours wrong like Lewis.
I would disagree that he's got it wrong. I just think that if he wasn't at Red Bull, I think this would be really good. I'm going to put this in good.
I've put mine in meh.
So that's all 20 done.
Yes.
That was a lot longer than I thought as well. Yeah. Right. So we now need to choose one helmet that we would use if we had to race in F1 this season. So I made that a bit complicated, but if we had to be one of the drivers, whose helmet would we want to use?
Yeah. It's a no-brainer. You go first.
All right. So you put me on the spot there. So I'm torn, obviously, between the four amazing ones.
Oh,
because,
really?
Funny enough, yeah, I know. I feel like they all, as you mentioned earlier, they all do their own thing. I think Lando does everything you would want to do, but it's not me enough.
Right.
So the one that's more me, I think, is Schumacher with the fade.
Oh, no way. I thought you were going to pick Vettel.
Well, I am simple like Vettel, but that blue, those colours, that fade is too nice to turn down, I think.
Okay.
I would remove some of the Schumacher stuff that he has on it, because obviously it's not me.
Yeah.
But that colour scheme with the black in it is too good. For me, you are being promoted to the 1. And now over to Robin.
Norris.
I thought you'd say that.
Yeah. It's the best design by far.
It is so good. We don't need to say it more, but it's so good. Like, it's so good. It
Even
does,
his logo. It's like everything, I think.
the LN with the negative space with the 4.
Yeah.
It just is so good. I hope that he won't change it. I don't think he will. And if he does change it, it might be slight tweaks. So, like, he's got the little black and white flower that's actually gone to the greeny yellow and black now. It's not white anymore. So there's little tweaks like that, but it's still the core design.
Yeah.
If he keeps that, and I can see him being an F1 for a long time, that may go down as the best helmet design ever.
Yeah.
As in, like, that is so iconic already.
A legendary kind of,
Like Senna's yellow helmet.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're going around in circles, but I'll go Schumacher and you would go Norris.
Yeah.
Done.
So should we talk about predictions? What did you want to start with? The fantasy or...
We can start with fantasy. Why not? Change it up.
Okay, so this is quite easy. I've been too torn as to what changes I should make, so I haven't made any.
And I've done exactly the same because I've got a plan in my head, but I need some of my drivers to increase their value.
Right.
So then I can get someone that I think will boost me to the next level, guys. But I have changed my turbo driver. I've gone back to Charles because he just looks like he's on a different planet at the moment. He's driving so well.
I know. Yeah, I've done the same. I kind of, for the first 3 races, I kept it on signs because I keep wishfully thinking that he's going to win, but he hasn't. So I might as well. I know it'll be this week because I've changed my turbo driver to Leclerc. And then I've got Kevin Magnussen and Gasly, who last week didn't do very well.
So you haven't actually changed anything?
No, literally nothing.
Who's your constructors?
I don't have enough money for Ferrari. I think that's what's making me bottom of the league because the whole of the rest of the league have. That's it. Everyone else has Ferrari. Ferrari gets so many points. I started off with Aston Martin and I've been making my way up to. I now have Alpine.
It's a good job you didn't have Aston last week. We must have got about minus 1,000 points. Anyone had that? That was a shocking weekend.
That was a bad week. No, I've got Alpine now.
Actually, let's have a quick look at the leaderboards because I assume we're still doing terrible in them.
Yeah.
There we are. Switching to Plan B League.
Decided that I'm probably not going to catch up. So,
well, you're 240 points off the lead. Who is still Eddie in the lead? He's doing unbelievable well.
Yeah.
Unbelievably well. Eddie's team is smashing it up. Then we've got Ben with Fatto Wolf. Well, great name, Ben. Then I am P3, but I'm basically 109 points off Eddie already. And then we've got Giuliano with a master plan in P4. And then Alfa Rubino by you, Robin, 409 points. You're 114 points off 4th place.
I know. That's why I'm just thinking...
There's always next season.
There is always next season.
And if...
We're only on the 3rd race. Come on.
Yeah, 4th race this weekend. If you want to join the league, we will leave the league code in the description. Yeah. So you can get a shout out. If you start doing well, we'll give you a shout out because we're going to do this every pre-race.
And you can't do worse than I am.
You can't do worse than Robin, apparently. And I'm solidly midfield. So I'm pretty sure if you join this league, which you should do, if you're listening, make sure you join the league.
Yeah.
And you'll probably be doing all right compared to us.
Yeah.
All right, so that will lead us into our winner, loser, and surprise for the weekend.
Winner, it's going to be
Leclerc.
Yep.
I'm going to go with you on that. I just think you're a fool to go against him in the moment.
I know.
And Red Bull will probably decide to poo themselves again. Yeah. So...
Oh, we've got to feel a bit sorry for Verstappen, but...
It's not even just Verstappen. Like, even the AlphaTauris, they've had problems as well.
They have, yeah.
You know, it is a little bit concerning. It is quick, though, that Red Bull. So...
Once they fix their reliability issues, they will get a lot more points.
But also, like, Imola is a quick track, so they could just rock up to Imola and just dominate. We don't know, but I say dominate. That Ferrari is rapid, even with it porpoising.
Yeah.
So yeah, Leclerc's got to win that for me. Who's next? Surprise.
We have Sebastian Vettel on points.
No.
That would be a surprise.
That would be a surprise. I'll be amazed if that happened.
I would be amazed.
That Aston
You
Martin
say
is
that,
rubbish.
but we had Alvin on points last weekend, and no one would have guessed that.
That is true. That is true. Who do I think will do what? I'm going to go with Yuki Tsunoda to get a top 6, which is a really weird saying, but he's going to get in the top 6, I think.
Okay.
Going to get some decent points.
Yeah.
I feel like after last year, he didn't have a great race at Imola. He spun about 1,000 times, so I feel like this year is redemption for Yuki.
Maybe he's been practicing on the F1 game.
Maybe. I reckon he's been still doing... Oh, no, he doesn't live in Milton Keynes anymore, does he? I was going to say, I reckon he's still going around the roundabouts going, nice.
Nice.
That was a nice poo. I love that guy. He's so funny. So Yuki to get in the top 6. And then, what does it leave it? Loser. Who's going to be the loser? I hate doing this one as well. I feel really mean.
I find it funny.
All right, well, you can go first then.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Perez.
You always go Checo.
I know.
Why Checo?
I don't know.
He's your go-to loser. I feel like Checo's quite a nice guy. He's a good racer. I do think that the problem is he's got Max Verstappen as his teammate.
But yeah, and like if they go, right, we need to test something, we'll use Checo. And then he goes like P20.
He's on some alternate strategy.
Yeah. And he has really difficult, bless him, he probably has such difficult races sometimes because they go, we're not sure about these tyres, let's try them with Checo first. And they go, no, those aren't good. Let's put the other ones on, Max. Yeah. And you're just like, bless him.
Maybe they've been putting the wrong engines in Max's car.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Checo's.
It's supposed to be Checo's, yeah. Maybe.
I alternate between Checo and Bottas because they're normally the scapegoats of their teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was Bottas like last year.
Oh, who is going to be my loser? I've been thinking about this whilst you've been slagging off Perez.
But I haven't said that he's a bad driver. He's not. I'm not slagging him off as in he's rubbish. Just think like, who's more likely to be in a situation where they get in a crash or something?
Do you know what I'm going to go for? And I think this is quite mean. The Canadians are going to absolutely hate me. But I'm going to say Nicholas Latifi's just going to have a shocker again.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a quiet weekend, did he? He got taken out by the other Canadian, Stroll. Yeah. They had a bit of a civil war in Australia. And then he had a very quiet race. But I think he was dead last after No, he wasn't. Alonso was dead last.
Because he pitted 100 times.
I'm going to go Latifi. I just think he's having such a bad season. I know at some point he's going to turn, and this is the really obvious choice.
So. Yeah.
I think he's just going to have a bad weekend. And Imola is quite brutal. It can be quite a brutal track because it's fast. So if you're not on the pace, you're going to be way down. Yeah.
And I mean, you say Latifi's having a bad season. I think a lot of drivers are having bad seasons because there's a lot of spinning. There's a lot of going out track. There's been a lot of crashes.
It's totally new cars.
Yeah.
Like they've got to try and work out these cars.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's everything this week.
Yes.
Obviously, race weekend. So we'll be doing a race review for next week's episode.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably put an Instagram post for you to put any comments or ask any questions that you've got.
Yes. So that'll go on Instagram. Chuck your questions in there.
Or something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about, yeah. It doesn't even have to be race related. It could be, do we think so-and-so will ever win a title? Or, just a hypothetical question. I'm sure we'd have a good go at that.
Yeah.
Join the league. Join the F1 Fantasy League. If you're still listening to this, join the league.
Yeah.
All right, so enjoy the Grand Prix. We will catch you in next week's episode and take care, everyone.
See ya.
Tires are okay for plan B.